Welcome, everybody, back to podcast episode 45, the exact number of United States presidents we've had in history. Rod and E, how y'all doing today?
Yeah, what's up?
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, we got a lot of topics. I've been writing stuff down like since the minute we finished the last one, and topics really just fell in our lap about 24 hours ago, actually, some Twitter beef going on. So we're going to start there because that's fun. I like fun. And the Kevin Durant situation and what he did with the Warriors, that's been beaten to death. But y'all are familiar with Kendrick. Y'all read the whole beef last night with Kendrick Perkins and Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I saw it in my feed.
Yeah, I saw the thread.
Yeah, that's fun because I feel like that was the first time that I've really seen a player. Let's read actually what happened first. I'm not going to read the whole thread, but basically what happened, I wrote the topic down beforehand, before it actually even became a fight, because I was kind of curious about where Kendrick Perkins was going with the whole thing of Westbrook being he said best player, right? To put on a Thunder jersey, basically calling him Mr. Thunder. Was that what he said?
Yeah.
More or less.
Right. And what did y'all think about that? Because did y'all have thoughts about that?
Again, I know what he was. I thought he was trying to say who is the greatest Thunder player ever. But he did say best, so people took it as a shot to KD. But
I mean, if you say at this point, you're saying like who's like more important for like the Thunder franchise as a whole, I would say Westbrook. But if you're going by best player, I still have to say KD.
Yeah, I thought the LeBron Wade situation.
Right, or like Vince Carter and Kawhi, because the exact tweet.
No, more what? Wade and Wade is Miami.
Yeah, he's
the greatest.
He owns the city. He owns the city.
LeBron is the better player.
Yeah, when LeBron was there, we all knew what time it was.
That's how I thought he was trying to take it.
So would it be the same thing with the Raptors? Because I did see that. I wanted to write that down, but I didn't want to separate into so many topics. People were saying like the difference between Kawhi being the best Raptor ever, but Vince Carter being the greatest. Is that a thing?
I don't think he's the greatest either.
So Kawhi became the greatest Raptor in 1 year? Because some people
I think Kawhi Leonard got a better resume in the Raptors than Vince.
Well, yeah, I mean, he won a championship.
I'm just saying.
You can't really top. Vince can't top that.
I'm not trying to take a shot at Vince.
Yeah, obviously it's not a shot.
Fam didn't even do much.
Somebody said he'd been playing in 4 different decades, just running and jumping.
Yeah,
but the thing is that Vince also, he put Toronto on the map. Like it wasn't even like it wasn't even a thing.
And he played there for a long time.
That's great.
About 6 years, not that long.
That's great, but I think Kyle Lowry got better resume in that jersey than he do.
That's technically true at this point.
That's saying a lot.
Damn, that's crazy. So wait, so who? I mean, it's a little bit of a tangent, but whatever. Who is the great? That's
Raptors.
Yeah, Kawhi is the greatest
I'll
Raptor
say
after
Kawhi
1 year.
Leonard, yep.
Yeah,
he did more for them than there.
Man, that's just crazy after one season, though.
I mean, he did more, but I don't know if I can give someone the greatest off just a 1 year rental.
You're right. I'll say Kyle Lowry.
Okay,
so Kyle Lowry, the oldest player, oldest 10-year player there. It would be DeRozan. He got traded, but
and then he ended up winning too. Is the thing. Kyle Lowry put up. He's been there for a while, and then he won the championship as well.
Yeah, so my vote would be Kyle Lowry.
I wonder what Raptors fans would think about that, especially because they've reconvened now. They've had discussions and they've made up. But Vince Carter had one of those situations where it was a dirty exit from the Raptors. People felt like he forced his way out of there basically, and he played there from '99, I think, or something. I can't
recall how he exited the team.
It was a thing where he basically like quit on them. It was he was booed for a minute when he came back, but
that always happens though.
Yeah, but it's not like it is now where it's all love, but of course that's because he's like 50 years old and shit. But okay, yeah, the Raptors thing, it's whatever. Podcast people or the listeners will probably discuss that, but yeah, I guess it was maybe a semantics thing that set this off, because Kendrick Perkins straight up said in his tweet on why I believe that Russell Westbrook is the best player to ever have put on an Oklahoma City Thunder jersey, and obviously Westbrook isn't better than Kevin Durant. He's never been a best player, so I'm pretty sure it was a semantic thing that set the whole thing off.
Probably,
so Westbrook he would qualify as the greatest Thunder player because he stayed there longer, made the playoffs after Kevin Durant left, had the MVP, the triple-double seasons. Yeah. So yeah, and then,
like if you think of OKC, I would think of Westbrook first, then KD.
Yeah, because that was it. He didn't leave until it was like
So I know you're playing semantics, but I try to he just trying to say when you think of Thunder, you think of Westbrook, but he knew what he was doing when he did.
Right. So yeah, that happened, and that set off a whole Twitter beef because KD, y'all probably didn't even see it, but Kevin Durant was all over social media yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he was talking to randoms too.
Yeah, randoms. The one guy, he has a check mark next to his name.
Nah, he's New York reporter or something.
Yeah, some reporter, and this is just part of what Kevin Durant does. People call him sensitive. From reading his tweets, I don't know if it's so much as he's sensitive or is it just fun. Sometimes it seems like he's just trolling when he responds people.
But the thing is, you understand, you have to type in your name to get these because they're not tagging them.
Yeah, for the most part.
That takes a lot of work, especially the not how many times you get dropped in a second. You got to type in your name and find Kevin. I don't know how that verification works.
Yeah, not necessarily on Twitter. Sometimes like people will be having a conversation with your tag in it, and like you'll see it.
Oh, the original post tag them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I didn't see.
But he is scrolling around, obviously looking at what people are saying.
I mean, he had no choice but to scroll.
He resting up. So.
And for him, it seems like it's more fun than anything. But yeah, the Kendrick Perkins situation, this shit got hot because Kendrick is, aside from CJ McCollum, I don't think there's really been an NBA player that's put KD on blast out there, right? Because like maybe a year ago, something after KD, remember when KD and CJ McCollum hopped on the podcast and McCollum said something about betraying your brother, and they got into it a little bit. But I found it interesting, especially with Kendrick Perkins being his ex teammate. Like they actually played together. I thought it was all love.
Yeah, from his past, every time you on the ESPN, y'all show love.
He does?
He always show love.
Yeah, he had. This first time he's like been like straight.
That's how you
straight
really
from the
feel.
hip.
Yeah, because that's what I was wondering about. Because Kevin Durant said in one of the tweets in the thread, he was like, he responded to somebody else. He's like, yeah, Perk has been shooting at me for a minute or something like that. I never heard Perk shoot at him. Maybe
he never shoot at him. He always came to his fence on the jump and all the ESPN shows.
I'm not a huge watcher of those shows, but I've never like woke up to a headline like Perkins, Flames former teammate Kevin Durant or whatever. But it was a lot of fire because Kendrick Perkins went straight NBA Twitter on him. The people have been reciting the line forever about you joined the 73-9 team after they beat you and shit like that, and that was the line that Kendrick pulled out here. But I mean, I think it was warranted because
Stephen A. line,
yeah. I mean, it was warranted because KD first said like, I didn't see what he was responding to because it seemed like he was responding to something else. But he said weak is starting.
No, it's because he brought up how when Westbrook went out that he got bounced in the second round.
Yeah, the original guy said, well, Westbrook got exited 3 times in a row. Well, then what's the name? I'm forgetting that. Perkins was like, well, KD when Westbrook was out, he got exited out too. Right. That's when Kev.
And then KD was like, "Why are we even talking?" Like that's what set it off.
So it was warranted for him to come out and say weak is a starting a center playing real minutes with no production. Like I didn't, because I'm looking at the thread and all it shows is Kendrick Perkins saying in 30 minutes I'm gonna go talk about why.
There's something in between there.
But what I'm saying
is
in
between.
Perkins was responding to the guy who said Westbrook is always a first round exit.
So then Perk brought out KD saying, but that was not in me.
Well, he said Kev. I guess he already tagged in him, so that's when KD got in that.
I don't feel like that was mean-spirited to bring up the fact that, KD got bounced without Westbrook. I mean, it happened. That's part of the reason.
Yeah, I don't think that was a shot.
Yeah, KD just came out and like, like this is just crazy.
I'm going to try and find it because when I was looking at it point by point, it seemed like...
Yeah, and
I think it's 2 tweets. One was... Kevin got exited out without Westbrook, and the second was Kevin left the door open and Russ entered.
I see what you're talking about now. So there was a reporter that came in and said, I think Russ walked into the door called second round of the playoffs, and then Kendrick Perkins says KD lost in the second round without Russ when I was there. So what you mean? And then so it's a couple of different threads. That's why it's confusing.
Right.
And KD straight up said, and our starting center at Kendrick Perkins averaged a whopping 2 and 3 during that series.
LOL
he said,
or something.
You played your heart out though, champ. Like that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, see, like the rules of engagement, you can't predict how someone's gonna respond if you take a shot.
But Perk was acting like he wasn't on that team too that got bounced.
Yeah, I mean it is kind of. Well, he said when I was there.
Saying, we know who Perk is. Perk ain't no.
Yeah, like
we know his role is on the team.
Yeah. I mean, he was more important to Boston in their championship. That was more. And then he came into OKC in the one year that they made the finals. I think he was.
But them
important.
stats is off the Boston championship. That 2 and 3.
No. I think the 2 and 3 he's talking about is when they got bounced without Russ. That's what they're talking.
I thought that was. I don't know his Perkins. I don't know his Boston numbers.
Because as Perkins went on with Perkins is not a numbers guy. Okay, it was defensive anchor. Yeah, straight anchor. That's what he was there for. Somebody else came out. Oh yeah, that's Gilbert Arenas chimed in on this too. So, but before we get there, yeah, it is interesting. The Kevin Durant social media engagement is interesting. Seeing someone in his position constantly going back and forth with people, but I guess.
So who was in the wrong?
Who was in the wrong with this?
I think this is different because Perkins is like, that's someone he knows personally. So I feel like it's kind of different versus him arguing up with like a stranger.
Well, that's the thing. That's what Stephen A said. I watched his bit on it too, and he was like, "Yo, you were a teammate. You were in the locker room. Your word holds weight." And that's kind of how I opened up the podcast, saying like I've never seen an actual player really put him on blast the way Kendrick Perkins just did. Because even when McCollum, it kind of died down. They kind of like fanned it a little bit. Right. But it seems like Perkins, has come out saying, first of all, we already know this is what all the fans think. But I've always been curious about what the players think.
I think all players. I think 90% of players had the same mentality we all did.
Yeah, you think LeBron is out here like, look at this fuck ass.
Yeah, I feel like fuck, man.
Yeah, because he was the one who had to deal with that.
Yeah.
Because like when you see them all on camera, like you see LeBron and KD on camera when KD was in Golden State, they had like a little, not the barbershop talk thing, but they were in a car together or something like that. It's like this all love. Ride with,
I think Chapman.
Yeah. So it's always like all love when you see these players on that. But like I've always wondered, like, what do they really feel about what he did these last few years? Because y'all had to deal with this. So y'all just like, oh, cool, we had to compete or whatever. It's like some fuck ass shit. Kendrick Perkins saying, oh, that's what Perkins said. He like, yeah, I know it keeps you up at night knowing you didn't really earn them chips. I'm like,
and I truly believe that bothers KD.
It has to. It has to, bro. It has to. To me, this just isn't complicated, and this is going to get into the Gilbert Arenas section as well, but it's kind of like a thing when you, again, pickup basketball is not NBA basketball, but you in pickup, and you see certain dudes on the same team, and you like, bro, you already know what time it is. Like, when you get five of the superstars in it, you already know what time it is. There's no competition in that game. Like, nobody's really gonna feel good about winning that game. You won, but whatever. That's really what happened with Kevin Durant going to the Warriors. Yeah. And so there's always the side that tries to come out and defend it and say, oh, it's still a title and this and that. And like, well, there's tiers to titles though, fam. Certain titles just mean more. And now that's why I'm saying that's kind of the Stephen A's point, is like Kendrick Perkins is kind of validating that notion, is that this is your peers. Kendrick Perkins is a peer. You know, that's what separates this whole thing. So and I don't agree. I don't know. Did either of y'all see Stephen A's piece on it at all?
Yeah, well, I thought he was saying he was out of bounds for mentioning the weakest move, because you know him personally. Y'all play on the same team. The media can say that, but not someone that was in the trenches with him.
Well, I don't feel like Kendrick.
I mean, I just feel like the 73-9 for KD, that's equivalent to like, you're like, someone has some, like, you're in a roast and you just need that like surefire hit that's gonna give you the edge. Right. So that's just just the line he pulled out.
He got salty when you mentioned his averages.
Who, Kendrick Perkins? Yeah, somebody, I've been watching like an analogy. Like y'all follow Worldwide Wob on Twitter. You don't follow him? Damn, everyone follows him.
Send it to me.
Yeah, I'll show you. You'll recognize him. But yeah, he's a funny ass NBA Twitter guy, and he was doing like an analysis of it. And he was saying like, yeah, KD got to Perk. Like he got under
absolutely.
His skin.
You mentioned my 2 and 3. Put a LOL good working hard chant.
Yeah, he said, you good though, champ. That's a pat on the back. I think Perkins double replied too. So that's how you know.
When you double text, you and your feelings, man.
Right. Yeah, that's a double reply. So like that, you definitely got under his skin a little bit, but he kept his cool, I guess. He kept it composed. But yeah, I disagree with Stephen A, because like Kevin Durant came at him first with the whole like he came at his role first. KD came at Perkins' role. You know what I mean? Kendrick Perkins said something. He worded it wrong. Westbrook is not the best player to put on a Thunder jersey.
Absolutely.
But then KD came for his throat. That's the way I saw it. So I don't think Kendrick Perkins, even though he's his teammate, it's like, hey, if you're gonna put me out there for being a whatever I was back in 2013, I'm gonna go ahead and call this spade a spade.
And it don't look good at doing Russ return to OKC.
Yeah,
about Russ
on the same night, right?
And Perkins trying to big up Russ on his special night, and KD was like, yo, you know what? And he's into himself in the conversation.
Like, don't mention my name.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I guess it's hard to make a case for Russ being the greatest without mentioning KD argument. So his name gonna naturally get brought up. But
do you think that even so, we've kind of readily accepted Westbrook as the greatest under here just because of time, but without that hate factor of like what he actually did, like with Kevin Durant leaving, I think that might influence it. If he hadn't left that way to the Golden State Warriors, do you think people would call KD the greatest under then? Because how many years Westbrook played 2 seasons afterwards? So
absolutely.
No, the fact he went to Golden State was insult to injury.
Yeah.
Because
so
that magnified the outcry.
So then by that notion, then Kevin Durant is actually the greatest Thunder ever then.
Yeah, technically, but the fact that the way he went out, the whole world was like, nigga, that's weak.
Yeah, so nobody's going to call him the greatest Thunder because of how he left, even though he technically is.
They gave his number to a rookie the following year, I think.
They did?
Yeah, some random guy had 35.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, so
that's kind of disrespectful. I mean,
I'm saying they was in
they
was in a feeling. Yeah, some random guy had 35.
Right. Yeah, and that whole situation. Yeah, he didn't get a tribute video, KD.
Of course not.
Yeah, and so because that's something I saw on the thread. Some random was like, "Oh yeah, you're mad you didn't get your tribute video," and KD didn't really address it. That's where he was like, "Oh no, Perkins has just been taking shots at me for a minute," but he didn't really address the assault over the tribute video. So, I mean, long story short, like I think this is something like you said and like Perk said, it's just gonna bother KD for a while, and that's why he's on the Nets right now.
He got to win another one.
Yeah, and I'm rooting for that because as great a player as KD is and the tools that he had throughout his career, I would hate for him to retire with just those 2 championships, and we all know what it is with those.
Yeah.
Like you were great. The Warriors played amazing basketball. It was beautiful and all this stuff, but we know what time it is with that. So I'm glad that he's in Brooklyn and giving himself a chance to redeem, and that's why he's there. Like we know that he wouldn't have left Golden. I don't think there was a couple of things that happened in Golden State actually, the Draymond Green situation, and there was a couple of things that drove him away, but. That's funny as hell. The man said that keep you up at night. That's crazy.
I truly believe it bothers him.
Yeah.
Every time someone bring it up, he like.
Yeah. And the fact that now your peer has brought it up, that's that's credit to it.
And it probably hurt KD because that's his man's.
Yeah. That was again, I had never known they had any problems before this.
I never heard Perkins say anything negative towards KD.
Yeah, I never.
He probably said he didn't like the move, but he say weak and all this extra.
So did y'all read Gilbert Arenas' chime in on this?
Because I was reading when he's saying what the full of.
Yeah, so Gilbert Arenas chimed in and he was making sense until about halfway through, because I mean he just kind of gave it the whole runaround that we all know how the story happened. OKC, he mentions OKC losing James Harden and ownership going backwards and the Warriors were getting better and things of that nature, and then they lose a 3-1 lead. Where Gilbert Arenas loses me in this whole thing is saying that Kevin Durant didn't have a choice but to go to Golden State. He says in 2016 there was only 2 teams that he could have went to for success, and he says Golden State and Cleveland. Like, fam, that's factually wrong.
That's very wrong.
That's factually wrong.
There was multiple teams he could have slid to.
Easily. Like, KD, first of all, this is KD we're talking about, so he immediately raises a team wherever he goes. And there were teams that he really met with that he probably would have won a championship with that year. So he went and met with the San Antonio Spurs. Even if Kawhi ended up spraining his ankle that year, that's why he was out. So Kawhi would be there with him most of the year. Yeah. Could have went to the Clippers, Lob City. Who knows? I mean, Butterfly Effect. We don't know what injuries happened later on, but that team of back then, CB3, Blake, and KD, that's a kick-ass team.
And Jordan, I think a little bit too.
Yeah, DeAndre Jordan. Yeah, so that's a beautiful team. He even met with the Celtics, and I don't think that would have been like an immediate title or anything like that.
Well, again, I don't know how the salary was on that team. Either.
Right.
How the salary was.
Yeah, he met with a couple of teams.
But no, there was bunches of rumors of where he's gonna go. It wasn't just like there was a Golden State rumor like there is no way he's going to Golden State because it'll be broken.
Right, exactly. And back then, going through that whole thing, I straight up thought he was going either to Golden State or staying in OKC. But yeah, I don't. Yeah.
So his whole argument was he had to leave.
Yeah, that was Gilbert Arenas' argument is that OKC. Okay, I give him that. OKC was going backwards. They fucked up by losing Harden a couple of years ago. They hadn't really gotten better the whole time that Kevin Durant was there. Like they made little pieces here and there, but it wasn't anything to push them all the way over the top. For most of the time, it was just KD and Westbrook. And one of them got hurt and they weren't that good anymore. Yeah, but to say so, I get that part. Yeah, sure. Saying he should have left OKC. Yeah, probably. Saying that his only chance was Golden State or Cleveland. What? That's you can fact check that and that's wrong.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Yeah, so that's basically what that's basically.
So
what,
he was defending.
Yeah, Gilbert Arenas is straight defending
KD.
yeah, he's defending KD in this one. He wrote like a whole paragraph. That's why I'm trying to read through it as I'm talking. But
that was more than a paragraph.
Yeah, he wrote like a whole essay. Yeah, he could have pulled out a notepad for this one.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, Arenas said at the end, he said, "I'm sorry, Kendrick, but everyone is not lucky enough to be a sorry-ass rebuilding Boston team." And bam, bam, 2 ex-Boston players does a deal like that and makes you a champ. So he shot at Perkins right there too. That's talking about, Perkins was there before KG and all of them, before Pierce, and then they brought.
Are you taking a shot at Perks for?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Good Arenas just all over the place in this post. Like, I don't know. Because then at the end, he's like, yeah, I still agree with 99% of what you say, champ, or some shit like that. I don't know. Arenas is all over the place there.
Yeah. He be talking wild sometimes.
Yeah, he's a very funny Instagram account. Yeah. I recommend the follow. So yeah, I mean that's basically, let's see, Westbrook, yeah, best player. So we addressed that. Kendrick and KD feud. I'll definitely be interested probably in years from now to see people who actually had to play through this era or play through the Kevin Durant era.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be a document years later saying, "Yeah, I hated that."
Right, like they about to do with the Michael Jordan shit.
Right.
I can't, because it seems like everybody's kind of held their tongue, and we'll see if any more people have anything to chime on with that. Speaking of, we'll go ahead and move on, because we spent years talking about the Warriors and Kevin Durant and all that, but Kendrick Perkins, that was a lot of fun. We mentioned Boston. That was when Isaiah Thomas was there when they were looking at Kevin Durant, I believe. Anyways, I don't know, besides the point. Do y'all think this happened actually the night we podcasted? Y'all saw Isaiah Thomas get tossed out of that game for the ref, right? Did y'all think he deserved to be tossed from that? Because
because he extended his arm.
What was he trying to do?
On one camera angle, it looked like he extended his arm. That's why he got tossed.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, he was just tangled up. He had some players defending him, whatever. He's on the out of bounds line. The referee was kind of in the mix. I guess maybe even in the way. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But when Isaiah Thomas, it seemed kind of like accidental, like incidental contact, until like Rod said, like the arm pushed off a little bit too, and referees, get your bitch ass out of here.
Yeah, they don't play about that contact.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, right. What Rod said, he sent an arm a little bit.
Yeah, so and they fined him too after that, a couple of G's. So y'all thought that was rightfully so.
I understand that when you sting your arm, they think it's he's being vicious with it. So.
But I also understand the other side, because it was still because it was a jump ball, right? So it was still kind of momentum hadn't fully stopped yet.
Yeah.
They're like seconds in the game, right? Like first quarter.
It was the beginning of the game.
It was the beginning of the game.
But I think is between that and him being in the stands,
a lot of money going.
A couple weeks ago. He's been on a little bit of a tear.
Yeah,
that's strike. If that's strike two, he does something else. They don't go come after him for real.
Yeah, you run up on fans, hitting fresh. Come on, man.
Yeah, because he actually went into. That's the one thing the NBA really don't want, is anybody going into the stands.
Granted, there's a big difference between Isaiah Thomas and LeBron Artest. So.
Right.
So ain't no one out there was actually real worried.
Yeah, they might be able to take IT. He's my size. So.
They wanted to frosty.
Right, yeah, they were drunk fans. That was funny.
Saw the memes. They're hilarious.
Yeah, bro. That's what they said with Kendrick Perkins confronting KD last night. They were like, damn, KD, Kendrick just wanted a frosty. That's what they would say with that. Okay, so yeah, that literally happened like right after we podcasted last week. So I wrote that down because I did want to see what y'all think. Speaking of turmoil, about the turmoil in Cleveland, so multiple things happened in Cleveland this week. But first, I wanted to talk about the basketball version, because Kevin Love, he's came out and apologized and everything. But y'all saw the play, right? Where he tosses the ball. He tired. He was mad about them dribbling out the clock, basically. And he came out and did the run around. I love my teammates and all this.
I saw the post.
But like, fam, we saw what happened on the court. We know you're not happy there. Right. But you're not happy there. It's Cleveland, and you chose to sign there as LeBron James left.
Only LeBron James left.
Yeah.
So not everybody else left. Everybody started leaving after that, though.
But I'm saying LeBron left. Like, that was it.
Well, I'm saying maybe he thought, the pieces we had without LeBron.
Come on.
I'm trying to throw him back. Who left right after that?
Once LeBron left, don't matter who else left.
It was role players, Chief. Like, it didn't matter. Yeah, LeBron made that team.
Because Kyrie already been traded at this point.
Yeah, so you had Jordan Clarkson,
ain't
Larry
nobody
Nance.
there.
Yeah, who you had?
I guess he wasn't expected to be this bad.
I don't want to hear that shit. Like, that's crazy.
So it's his fault. Okay.
This is 100% his fault.
Yes, like that's like this would be like if Carmelo Anthony was pissed about the state of affairs in New York back in 2014 when he signed that back.
But he didn't gut the team though.
What do you mean? Wait, you said he didn't what?
When he went up, when he got traded there?
No. When he signed the extension back in like 2014.
You gotta understand with the Knicks and Cleveland, you have to understand that because of management, it is consistently a ticking time bomb.
Yeah, that like you remember the when did he sign? It was that summer with Carmelo Anthony. He was choosing between the Chicago Bulls or D Rose and Noah or the New York Knicks, who weren't even playoff bound, and he chose the Knicks. And he never really got like this with Kevin Love, but if he would have, it's like, fam, you signed here. So Kevin Love, right after LeBron James leaves, decides to sign a 5-year at the time, I believe. It was probably 5 year at the time.
5 years.
See, if you signed a 5-year extension in Cleveland, like you already knew what it was. I think it sounded like you disagree. Like what?
I'm trying to play devil's advocate here.
It's Cleveland, yeah. It's Cleveland.
To my understanding, he didn't like the play the coach was trying to at the lab. That's why he got frustrated.
I thought it was frustrating, one because homeboy took so long to bring the ball up, but also because he had a switch. He had Chris Paul on him, and it didn't give him the ball.
What's the rookie name? I forgot. Sexton.
So yeah, I think it's the coaching issues that we're probably going to talk about in a second, and then management. So combining all that together, he's not happy.
Yeah, and this is on top of the trade request already, or like because they're trying to get him out of there before next month. So within the next couple of weeks, they're trying to get him. So this is on top of all of that.
Well, I'm just saying, yes, he signed a contract. You supposed to secure it back, then figure it out later.
That's what he did.
So he trying to figure it out.
But that creates that shit right there. That creates a problem, bro. That creates a problem because you're a star player, and at that time we were thinking, okay, this is Kevin Love without LeBron and without Kyrie. Maybe he can actually be Kevin Love again, which never happened. But that's what you're thinking, and that's what the team is hoping as well. But it seems like all along your intentions was get the bag, and when shit starts going south, yo, I'm out. Like I'm gonna force my way out, and that's the way it works with stars. Like when the star player starts grumbling, teams genuinely just go ahead and get what they can for him, because who wants to keep a star player that doesn't want to be there? And so that's why I think he'll probably be traded within the next couple of weeks. But this is just another case of a player forcing his way out of a bad situation that you signed yourself into.
I understand,
and you knew it was bad.
But the team got to do something on their end too, man. You can't just
and okay. And I get that. You 100% right about that. But this is also like, it's not like Cleveland doesn't have a history you can look at, you know?
Yeah.
One thing Gilbert Arenas said in that post was true. Like one of the biggest signings Cleveland ever had was Larry Hughes, and that's kind of it. Like that's
wild.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
but this is 100% his fault, like we said, because he chose contract security. Only thing is with security is it's hard to get those locks off. So now he's stuck. He
can't trade his contract. He'll like get 30 something
per
year.
He's getting paid too much, and we give him the amount like teams want more than what Cleveland's willing to give.
And plus, he don't got good production. Right?
So y'all don't think he's gonna get traded? Because somebody will take Kevin Love. Like it's not like we haven't seen teams just.
Yeah, I guess if they find a good deal.
But Cleveland's not going to get what they want for Kevin Love.
Yeah, we rarely ever do for a player that's like considered.
He's not performing to the contract level. So
yeah, I think it's a situation where you say if he was on a team with like Lillard or something like that, he'd probably be a little bit better.
I thought
right
he was going
now.
to Portland, but.
Yeah, and Portland, they're still like right there in the. I don't know what they have to trade at all for him. They probably have to get a third team involved, but
yeah,
they're right there outside of the playoff picture. So, yeah, I wrote that down because that's just interesting to me. Like you said, it's to secure the bag route and get the bag. And
it was a max. You know, you get. I can't remember the scene how it was in NBA during that free agency, but.
LeBron went to the Lakers. That was like the big thing that happened.
I don't know. A couple of probably shopping around. I don't know. He saw that money, like, yo, let me get this bag. Then if it,
yeah, because it's an extension, and you don't know if you're gonna get a bag like that elsewhere.
So you're like, I figured it out later.
Yeah, and this is what.
And now it's later.
Yeah, now
I guess
later.
Nobody expects Sexton to be this bad. Or they draft picks to be that bad.
Yeah, yeah. Now I say like you know what you're getting yourself into in certain places. Like you in Cleveland, you know you.
Did Trisha want to leave too?
Say what?
Thompson. You want to leave?
I haven't heard any grumbles from him. Thompson is. I think Thompson is totally content to get
well, that's
his money.
His career, so he it is what it is.
Yeah, like he just had a career night the other night too, like 34 and 15 or something like that. Yeah. But I think he's probably content. I don't know how much he really cares, but yeah, that's an interesting thing with Kevin Love. So the other thing that happened in Cleveland was the coach. Y'all saw that situation, right? of the
Thugs.
Yeah. So apparently after the game, or during or after the game, whatever, coach accidentally, air quotes, says, finally y'all aren't playing like a bunch of thugs, and apparently didn't even realize that he said it. And
apparently thought he had said like a bunch of slugs.
Yeah, that's
like
what
they're being lagger, lackadaisical, but
that's what he had to say when he had to call everyone that night and kind of apologize individually. And because his coaching staff was the one that told him, like, yo, you just called them thugs, fam. So he had to apologize for that. I've done some searching around. People said if you follow him or you follow his career, like, he wouldn't willingly say something like that. I can't imagine, especially today in today's NBA, I can't really imagine a coach willingly calling players thugs.
I just think we getting too caught up. I don't think he had, because he got white players up there. It's not like he saw nothing but like black people. You know what I mean? I just think it'll slip of a tongue. He know he got to go on PR mode, but I don't think he has some like secret intent behind that.
Right.
But even if that is true, it still doesn't change the fact that it's damaging his already sketchy, fragile relationship with his team as it is already.
Absolutely.
Given how so they don't like some of his coaching style, or
is he the official coach, or he like a?
He's the
coach.
He
the coach.
Coach. That's the thing. Something happened earlier this year. I can't remember, between him and the players, and we mentioned it on the podcast. I can't remember exactly what happened. But yeah.
Because Perkins, because they were saying how he was trying to coach the team like it was a college team.
Yeah.
I remember Perkins tried to almost say something like, "Yo," he was like, adults playing for millions of dollars.
Right.
We're kind of trying to say like, like they're not kids, but
yeah.
So there's just kind of differences of culture and things like that has been causing friction.
Coach Carter route.
Yeah, I just, the way when I first got the news and I saw it popping on Twitter, I was on Twitch, I was live streaming, so like we clowned that shit. 'Cause I was like, fam, how you say thugs instead of slugs? So we was laughing hard at that. But when you give it some thought, the more you think about it, like you can't think that would go over well, that you would even keep your job if you willingly said some shit like that, especially in the NBA.
It's not even accurate, like thugs.
Yeah, so it is interesting though, because now that's your coach, and that's a guy you gotta trust and play for throughout the days, and it's like I can't imagine being in a locker room when that actually happened. But yeah.
I'm surprised no one interrupted him.
Was it like audio or this?
No, this is just something that happened in the locker room, and it was reported. And
okay.
And he called and apologized.
Like, yo, fam, you said thugs, right?
Yeah. Like, I'm wondering, like, that none, like Sexton or Garland, none of them looked up like, yo,
I'm saying no one said nothing.
All right, yeah, nobody said nothing. But apparently, if they didn't say anything, first of all, they're young players, and second of all, this is kind of along the lines of what happened with Donald Sterling back in when he used to be with the Clippers. Apparently, he used to be in there with like his hookers or some shit, pointing at the players, be like, yeah, look at their beautiful black bodies and shit like that too.
He was saying all the time. Wow,
and the players didn't report that back then, so
that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so shit like that.
Beautiful black bodies.
Yeah, that's wild. Right?
Yeah, because once everything came out, Baron Davis was like, yo, this dude was always saying wild stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he tried to like share his hookers with him. I know he was trying to.
Yeah, no, see, that's on some like Get Out shit, to be honest.
But, genetic makeup.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And I didn't even hear that story until I read like Elgin Baylor's book, and then did some research myself. So yeah, with the whole thugs thing, I could see how that could easily just slip, and no player says anything, because Donald Sterling out there trying to like hold an auction, nobody said anything until years later. So yeah, but yeah, again, like I don't know much about this coach. I don't know much about him as a person.
It's Beeline, right?
What's
the coach name? Beeline?
Something like that. Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, it's Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't watch that game.
I've been having. I don't even know if Cleveland like actually exists these days.
I love their jerseys though, but
yeah, jerseys are fire. Yeah, I acknowledge those.
I mean, you gotta do something right. Hopefully.
I love their jerseys.
Yeah. Cleveland jerseys is a bit nice. But yeah, I mean, you give them the benefit of the doubt, because like there's just no way you.
So do Kevin Love? Do you see any realistic destinations for him?
Yeah, I mean, because again, I think they're gonna try to get rid of him. And it seems like the only place that really ever comes up is Portland. Like that's what I
know there's home for him. I think it's again his family, music family.
And the situation kind of makes sense right now because Portland's trying to make a playoff push, and Lillard, like, you got to get him something before, too many years.
The thing is, they're not good at defense in Portland.
Yeah, defense is their biggest issue.
Well, that's not gonna happen this season.
You got Love over there.
I mean, but Love is gonna exacerbate the problem.
They're not gonna be a defensive juggernaut this year. They're not going far in the playoffs.
The whole team, no defenders on the team, so it makes sense, right?
Speaking of Portland, shout out to Melo again. He had like game winner the other night. Yesterday, and 20-something points.
Yeah, I think it was 28.
Yeah,
28
points. Yeah. So Banana Bowl gang is just doing great. Paul balling. Yeah, too. Paul balling, Melo. I've been
even Rose balling. Even if it's not part of it, but the fact you got like these people from
like
different
that
decades.
Is supposed to be down now. Yeah, facts.
I saw a post like, what year is this? Like, all had great nights.
Yeah, I was talking about Chris Paul because you're not a big Chris Paul fan, I know.
I'm a Chris Paul fan. I am. It is that when I was ranking him, I had a little tangent going on. I don't hate Chris Paul. No.
I mean, I think it just speaks volume. Yeah, you don't hate Chris. Definitely, it's not a hate thing. No. But I think it speaks volumes to Chris Paul's career. Like, I was looking. This is the year where we assume, first of all, it looked like he was getting a little bit older in Houston. They send you off to OKC, which is a team in the Western Conference. So it's not so much that they were a terrible roster. It was more so that they're in the West and they don't really have any like an established star or anything like that. So that's why people were saying it seems like they sent Chris Paul's career to die.
Yeah.
Yet they're probably going to be a playoff team this year. They're pretty damn competitive, and that even though Chris Paul has never won anything in his career, that says a lot about him. Because I was looking throughout his career, he's only played for a losing team like one time out of his whole career, which was when he got drafted when he was a rookie.
Right.
And so,
no, the main problem with him was that when it came to the playoffs, he wasn't getting it done.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, the whole thing is more so injuries though, because more often than not, Chris Paul has always carried his weight in the playoffs. Like even 2008 when they made the conference finals, I believe, or one of those years they made conference finals, conference semifinals, got into a dope series with the Spurs.
Are you sure what? Because I'm pretty sure his first conference finals was Houston. Because that's
that
was his main thing he was getting clowned for.
Conference semifinals where I believe they went to a long series with the Spurs, and the Hornets, they were a decent team back then. Yeah. But it wasn't like he had, a crazy amount of things to work with. But Tyson Chandler, David West, Page, I believe. But yeah, throughout his career, every single team he's been on has been competitive. A couple of times he's been knocked out of the playoffs because of injuries. And I think when he retires, he's going to have one of the weirdest and hardest careers to rank, because clearly one of the best point guards ever.
He got no finals appearances.
Yeah, no finals appearances.
He recently got a Western Conference final.
Yeah, at the end of his career, he had Western Conference Finals appearances. He's not going to have an MVP. He's not going to have. It's really going to be like the all NBA teams, all defensive teams, the steals, assists, and points. With just no decorations. But that kind of goes back to the conversation with Gilbert Arenas was having, because he was saying Kendrick Perkins and the media play a whole part in this thing of shoving rings down people's throat. That I might have missed. That's what he was trying to talk about with KD and why he had no choice. He was saying, because kind of like we had this discussion on podcast before, how the media makes it seem like rings are the only thing that matters, period. And so that's kind of why he was saying KD had no choice but to go anywhere but Golden State. Still, he could have won a ring elsewhere. But even with Chris Paul, even without a championship, it's going to be a very decorated resume. But even that, it goes back to where you were ranking him. I mean, you got Westbrook above him, right? For in the point guard category. And I'm pretty sure if he had a championship, that'd be different. But Westbrook doesn't have one either, so it really just comes down to like a numbers thing at that point. He got the MVP. That's what he got.
Yeah, the MVP is huge. Right. So my thing is, every sport, the championships matter, man. Yeah,
they do.
Any sport.
Yeah, they do. Absolutely.
We're not saying they don't.
But I hate when people it don't matter as much. That's what you playing for, fam.
Yeah. The only thing I hate is when people just devalue it. It's like, oh, it's a team accomplishment. Like they just try to throw that out there, and it's like whenever somebody tries to value somebody's championship.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of stupid.
Yeah, that's the argument of team accomplishment. Yeah. And in basketball, it's a lot.
And for the players that had garbage teams, I understand that. But Chris Paul had a great team. He had a great team.
He did. He definitely did. He definitely did. I just hope history doesn't forget with Chris Paul how much he just got fucked, sometimes, because like every single year with the Clippers, damn near it was an injury most of it. Like in their best years, somebody got hurt.
Especially that.
Except for that Houston series where they were up by like 20. or something, and they had the lead in the series, and then they blew it.
But even in that series, he did his thing though, or like he went out. Even I think he missed the first 2 games with a hamstring injury, but we came back. He did his thing. Like the team was garbage. The team, not the roster, but the team production was trash. And so that becomes an interesting narrative thing, because is it like, well, did Chris Paul blow a 3-1 lead, or did the Clippers? Because he did his shit. Like he did.
You know how to look at it. It's like you on a roster, fam.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
He's great at leading teams. I don't think he can lead it to the championship, but he always been a great leader, Blake, floor general.
Yeah, and
it is that when he played with another player with his caliber, it goes array.
Yeah, he had the one good year in Houston, basically, and then he got injured. He
But then
would
he
have had a
got
championship that year, I think.
Yeah, if he hadn't got hurt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They probably had a championship. Houston probably had a championship.
Yeah, see, it's not
that year.
destined. You get injured on that. Come on, that's crazy, man. You get injured, and your team just fall apart. And
Yeah.
all the missing threes they had, I'm like this is not. You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, but yeah, I did want to bring that up though, bring his career up, because it is very, very interesting to see that even when they sent this man off, they exiled him. You know,
I'm saying his Hall of Fame video is still gonna be dope.
Oh yeah, exactly, because he still wanted. I'm taking him over. I'm taking him over most point guards in history.
Yeah, let us see. They don't have the finals appearance is kind of strange.
Yeah, and at this point, that's probably not going to happen. Because it looks like he's pretty much riding it out in OKC. I don't think they're trading him. I don't know why you would if you're the Thunder, because like y'all said last week, they got the picks. So,
I
don't know why you would. So moving on, Chris Paul's time might be done soon, but Luka is just beginning, and Jerry West had some high fucking praise for Luka Doncic. And this coming from West means a lot. Not only is he the logo, but the man has put together multiple winning franchises now. He put together what's happening with the Clippers right now, helped put together the Warriors. So Jerry West has some, you got
drafted Kobe.
They put the Kobe and Shaq thing together. There you go. I don't know how I was about to fuck that one up. Yeah. So the man word hold weight, and he's already ready to say that Dirk is not Luka. He's saying that Luka has the chance to be the greatest Maverick ever, and that Dirk is great, but he's not Luka. Like
that sounds crazy, man.
Has some emphasis on it. What do y'all think about that? That has some emphasis to say, like, when you say it like that, like, yeah, he's good, but he's this guy. Like that's normally you normally reserve that for some shit that's like solidified. So what do y'all think? Because
I still think it's a little too soon. I mean, I think obviously we all think Luka has the potential to surpass Dirk, but I mean, Dirk went through one of the hardest finals runs ever to get his ring. I mean, like, it's not like homie's a scrub out here.
Oh, absolutely not.
So I mean,
Jerry West not saying that.
So I mean, it's not. I think it's a little too soon.
I don't like how he said it, bro.
Yeah, because he said it like he was
like, move over, Dirk. Like he's already here.
Yeah. And Luka so far has played like 1.5 seasons in the NBA.
I mean, to be honest, I've been fine if he had said something like this in year 4 or 5, but I think it's year 1.5. I think it's a little too soon.
Yeah, I just thought it was too early, and I don't like how you said it. Like Luka, like Dirk ain't that. Like he ain't Dallas.
Like Dirk is the old old style.
He's an MVP. He's a champion.
Got a street named after him already.
Yeah, come on. I think it was too early, man.
Well,
I understand he's 20 and doing amazing things, but come on, man, chill.
Jerry West does have the eye for talent. Obviously, he's proven that much.
He is getting old, fam, but he's chill with that, man.
I guess it comes from the standpoint of when you look at, obviously he's young. It's his second season, but you look at the play style. The play style technically does give him a great chance to be better than Dirk, because he does everything. Yeah. Like it's everything. It's the playmaking with the ball handling, taking it up the court. It's the scoring. The only thing you really don't hear about from him is defense. That's about it. But every time you look up, this man got a 30-point triple-double. Yeah. It's like, that wouldn't. And it's a different era, of course, and all that. But I still don't think that was probably within Dirk's capabilities. I just don't think that was what he was. You get what I mean?
I don't like entertaining stuff that early.
Yeah, you're not entertaining it after 1.5 years.
Stuff early.
Yeah.
Like, move over. He's not Luka. Like, fam, this is Dirk you talking about.
Yeah. To say he's
like, he hasn't even played a playoff game.
Yeah, damn. That's we forget
chill,
that.
Man.
We forget that, and the Mavs have now slid down to like 6th seed too. That's the thing, because Porzingis has been out lately as well since the first of the year. Yeah, with his knee injury, or sore knee or whatever.
Is it the same knee?
I think it probably is. I didn't check exactly, but sore knee, that precaution, that to me that's probably his ACL knee. And yeah, so somebody brought that to my attention when I was asked. I tweeted out and asked like, okay, so what are we doing with the Mavericks this year as far as expectations? It's like, yeah, they've slipped a little bit. But yeah, that's a way to put it. With Jerry West, that is kind of a hard way to put it. To say,
and I was trying to find a full like a statement, like the article where he was mentioning that, and I couldn't find it. But that little soundbite piece was like, yo.
Right. Hopefully that was actually said. Let me just Google and make sure that shit actually happened.
Photoshop is amazing these days.
Absolutely. But I mean, it sounds like
Luka do have the potential, but
Yeah, I'm just making sure this quote actually happened. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, it actually happened. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, he said he'll be the best. Well, we'll really say again, yeah, it's only been a year, but yeah, at this rate, he will be. Yeah. At this rate, he'll be the greatest Maverick.
Well, if nothing happens,
yeah, but then that goes back to that ring conversation we were just having, though, because sometimes players never win rings. If Luka had these numbers but didn't win a championship, then he probably wouldn't be considered the greatest Maverick ever by the end of his career. More than likely, like without a title, would you be able to pass Dirk as? Yeah, that's the question. Without a title, would you be able to pass Dirk as the greatest Maverick?
No, I don't think so.
Especially when
Dirk had to go through LeBron and Kobe.
Exactly.
And the fact that Dirk's the all-time great and he's the champion with that franchise, that's what's
and Dirk has MVP too.
Yeah, come on, man, you chill that. Man.
Yeah, he got one MVP. That's what he got from most having. Yeah, that day. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so we'll move on from that. We'll go into Anthony Davis. Just some Laker news there. He did turn down the extension offer from the Los Angeles Lakers. He will still enter he's opting to enter free agency this summer, but this isn't something that anybody's really worried about because people are saying like, yeah, you can just get more money basically.
I think that's what everyone thinks.
Yeah, and there'd be no reason to sign right now too because you sign right now and with LeBron fuck around and tear something, and then now you done sign for like 5. Yeah, so why would you even do that?
A grown snap or something.
Absolutely, but either way, like where is AD gonna go? Like where you gonna go?
Man.
Yeah, like, and even.
I just think it's just a financial decision.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Even if the Lakers were to lose this year, I think he would probably give it another go around because LeBron still has some in the tank. So unless this season ended in a total travesty, AD, this is the most success he's had in his career. He is not going nowhere. Blake Griffin did decide to go ahead and end his season with surgery. They said out indefinitely, but I'm pretty sure that means his season is ended. So. Yeah, we would. That was funny that came up right as we were talking about how he was playing last week. So I guess that knee was bothering him. And yeah, that who knows what happens with that contract and what happens with the Pistons now. They are looking for trade still.
I mean, that just means that now he has top 2 worst contracts in the league.
Who and the other one's John Wall?
Yeah.
yeah. Facts.
I still think John Wall is still better than his contract. Better.
You think John Wall's contract is better than Blake's?
I don't know why I'm saying this, but I got a feeling it.
John Wall is like because John Wall's bumps up to like $50 million. Like he got one of like I think it's gonna be like some historical shit.
And the fact that John Wall looks like he's put on like 30 pounds since his rookie year.
But Blake was dropping 15 a night. That's crazy. 15 and 4.
It might have been his knee.
Yeah, it might have been his knee because
I think it was his knee.
Because last season he had his best year.
He was all NBA last season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It went from that to like. Yeah, that's why at the beginning of the season I counted the Pistons out because of the playoffs. So I was like, I'm not depending on them to stay healthy. Yeah. But yeah, so Blake is going to be out. Oladipo is going to return soon though. He is targeting January 29th. I'm happy as hell about that because Eastern Conference definitely needs his presence and in the playoffs as well.
It's going to take a while for him to get back.
Yeah. I'm not expecting him to be like.
We're not expecting him to be all the way back to form, but given that Indiana still has a decent team together, go ahead. Help may boost up their rankings.
Yeah, I'm thinking more so Pacers are really going to be that team that's just like a thorn in somebody's side in the playoffs because they're a really good team, but like they're not going to beat Miami in a series. They're not going to beat Milwaukee in a series. Yeah, they're not going to beat a lot of these teams in a series, but they'll be a hard
be competitive. It'll be competitive.
They I would say they are the most like exciting, boring team I've seen in a while.
They can get Miami some problems.
They're not going to beat them though.
I'm saying it'd be more entertaining seeing them against the Heat than Philly or Milwaukee then.
Right. Speaking of Philly, I did not write that one down. Joel Embiid tore a ligament in his hand. The reason I didn't write it down, it's not even that serious. They said like
it's like wait 1 or 2 weeks. But I mean, we saw how his finger was looking. You understand?
That don't look like no 1 or 2 weeks.
That's what it's stemming from. That
it has to. That's the only thing.
That shit was disgusting, bro. Like all out of place. Yeah. So. Some people will, bring up the whole injury prone thing with Joel Embiid and saying, I actually saw that in the thread. Somebody was saying like when the Sixers, if they ever do break up him and Simmons, it should be Embiid that they trade because of his injury scares. And they said that Ben Simmons is like a defensive juggernaut right now, and he's only in his 3rd year, and he's done this, that, and the other thing, and he's got no injury problems. But
they act like Ben Simmons ain't broke his foot.
He did start his career, but he hadn't had any complications, so that's good. And
I can understand that.
This whole thing with Embiid is his finger.
But the thing about Embiid is that it feels like his knees or something. Then like the hand thing, that was a fluke.
Was a loose ball or something he was trying to get?
I didn't.
He was playing defense. And something happened where like his hand slammed into his it was just like he hit his hand like the right place where it causes dislocate.
Fingers are so easy to fuck up when you playing basketball. Like the ball hits your finger.
I got a jam finger right now.
Yeah, when somebody threw like a hard pass and your fingers out like
this.
Yeah.
Fingers and ankles are the easiest thing to injure.
Your ankles. I almost.
Oh yeah, I almost busted my ankle up from pickup this week.
Almost died a couple days ago.
Yeah, me and Rob been playing LA Fitness, and I almost destroyed my whole foot.
Shoe came off and everything.
Right? Yeah, I was limping. I thought my ankle was done, but it was just my heel. But yeah, now my ankle's been trash forever. So yeah, what I was saying about Indiana before that though, I was saying Indiana to me is probably the most exciting, what people would call probably boring team, because they don't really have names is the thing. Like people don't. Indiana game is not getting nobody excited, but you actually watch them play, especially in Miami. I would want to see that playoff series, especially because what's going on right now with Jimmy Butler and Warren. Jimmy Butler want all the smoke, bro. Jimmy Butler circled the ticket date.
March 22nd.
Yeah, Warren and it was like a scuffle. Apparently, Warren said something that got really under his skin. Actually, if you guys saw the scuffle,
that's why he got ejected. He said something right then.
So Warren got ejected too.
Yeah, Warren got ejected too. Butler didn't get ejected.
Butler didn't get ejected?
No, Warren did.
Okay. Because I saw Warren stick his middle finger up. And
right after that, he got ejected.
Oh, and that's why Jimmy Butler blew
kisses.
You sure Butler didn't get ejected?
No.
I had to look up the situation because the whole thing was just
no. Because they already had double text the first time. And when he did middle finger, he got another text.
Hey, yeah. I always wonder what is it, especially for a guy like Jimmy Butler, these star players. What do players say that set somebody off that hard? Because this reminds me of the KG situation with Carmelo Anthony. Yeah, because you just say something and the player snap what you mean, cuz? Yeah, and that's how Butler was. Butler was straight I
think he said something outside off the court type stuff.
Yeah, and that quick too. What can you say in that quick in the heat of the moment that just set that shit off in your head?
The baby not yours. Something crazy, man.
Mentioning specific names.
You ever get a DNA test here, cuz?
I can spark anybody.
Yeah, because Butler straight snapped. Butler was ready to fight, and he was still hot after the game. That's why he gave that press conference, and he was like, "Yeah, look, this guy's not even in my tier. Yeah, coach better not never put him on me again." So, but okay, that's 3 things now that's happened this season: the Giannis comment, the Patrick Beverley, don't talk to us. Now, when Butler played Warren, he got to give Warren 30 next game because you can't.
Yeah, choice.
Yeah, right. You can't talk that cash and be like, you circle a game on your Instagram account and drop 17 points. You know what I mean? You got to get it.
Be a little different, Cole. You're gonna be there, but
and I'm not again.
Make it personal, but
yeah. You don't circle this now. You got to get this man north of 25. That's funny. I love Jimmy Butler, bro. He has a YouTube channel too. People should check out Jimmy's YouTube channel. He's a funny ass guy.
That's funny.
We were talking about. Let's see. I actually did talk. Oh yeah, damn. Why did I get to this one so late? The Giannis and Warriors situation. Y'all been paying attention to that?
Yeah, I saw the lip reading.
Yeah. First of all, we have no clue what Steph actually said. That could have been multiple things. But people, media loves to make something out of that because all the players he's talked to before and how they.
Well, Giannis said the video game.
Say what?
Video game.
What do you mean?
They're gonna team up online to play a video game.
That's what Giannis said?
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. Look
at
that.
No,
he said something about video game. He said go team up. We're gonna win some video game, online video game.
He would not say no shit like that. That's too much on the line. I think you got hit with one of them fake Woj accounts.
Okay, baby. I heard a video game.
Nah.
I heard nothing.
Yeah,
since the lip sync.
Steph Curry says he was talking to Giannis about video game. Oh, that's what Steph said.
Oh, okay. Steph. Okay.
I'm about to say Giannis wouldn't say that. Yeah, I'm gonna team up with him online. Like, nah, that's too much. That's too on the line.
Okay.
Let's do it. Come on. So that's the lip reading that people thought happened. Is let's do it. Come on, man. That's what people think that he said. And Steph comes down here and says, I reached out to Steffi Tech. He told me all I was doing was giving Giannis his gamer tag for an online game called PUBG, Players Unknown Battleground. He said he told Giannis, come see me on the game. That sounds like some bullshit.
People still play PUBG?
I didn't know.
I don't know what it is.
He said, we can team up and do some damage. Let's do it. Come on.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here, Steph. That's sarcastic ass. If that's a real quote, that's sarcastic as hell from Steph. So that makes me believe more Steph was actually be like, yeah, because after that's what compounds it is after the game they say Steph gave him like a jersey or some shit with like a signed note. Yeah, bro. That's come on, bro. If that's like a real recruitment thing, and that's Giannis has one more year left, and we're getting close to that now. Like we're in that season now where like people were starting to talk about KD to the Warriors one day. We're in that season now because it's not that far off. Yeah. And we talked about it, and again we already said I don't think Giannis is actually built like that too. So whether he leave Milwaukee or not, I couldn't actually.
I thought KD was built like that.
No. The thing, it's a little bit.
The thing is that if it'd be even more broken because if they keep Russell and then they sign, no, bro.
I'm going to football if he goes there.
Right? Yeah. It's different.
There's no point in watching.
It's different. You said, did you think KD was built like that? It's different. Giannis kind of like exudes that energy. Like he don't work out with other players during the offseason and shit like that. You see KD with other guys. Like Giannis not for your bullshit basically.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, so I don't think that's gonna happen. But Milwaukee fans they taking this shit to heart. You didn't?
They have to, man.
Did you see that?
They don't have a choice. Everything rides on Giannis.
I saw this emotional post on Twitter like I don't think you can really. They quote tweeted that Steph thing, and it was like I don't think you can understand what this feels like if you're from Wisconsin. Like imagine waking up on Christmas and getting a Giannis jersey, and then you watching them play, and then like. Instead of talking about how he's first seed, the media is like full time trying to get him to leave and shit like that. But I mean, I get it. Like, yeah, because
I do believe media have some type of role in that.
Yeah, Milwaukee's never been Giannis.
I mean, of course they're gonna try and push a narrative, and also Milwaukee's not one of the biggest markets out there, and they want stars in the biggest markets. That makes the most money.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that. But I don't know, man. Dare I say, Milwaukee fans have just gotten mad, like sensitive over it. I've never seen a fan base so sensitive over their star player, like. Bro, this happens to every star player. Free agency, it gets talked about every star player like a year out.
I mean, they still might be salty that they lost Kareem.
Yeah, Kareem straight dipped on them. Kareem,
I'm out of here.
Yeah, right. Changed his name and slid. But that's the thing, though. Like, again, if you're a Milwaukee fan, obviously they really haven't had that many relevant players in history. Like, you had Kareem and Oscar. And
Michael Redd.
Michael Redd, yeah.
Ray Allen.
Before 3 injuries, sure. And Ray Allen.
Before his knees went out.
Yeah, I'm saying, though, they haven't had that many relevant eras. Like, it's the Oscar and Kareem championship, and then after that, it's just like
20 years of...
More than 20, bro. That was like in the, what was that, 70 something?
Yeah, that's like 40 years.
Yeah, geez, that's...
Before Red.
Yeah, so I get it. I get it, but this is also where this is the day that we're in. I'm not advocating Giannis. I'll go ahead and say that right now. I'm not advocating Giannis to the Warriors. Like, I don't know what I would do if that happens, because that's gonna be some shit.
I heard Heat.
Yeah, I don't have no clue what the money looks like at that point. I mean, I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with Heat. Yeah. I don't want no Warriors.
Yeah,
I don't
no
want
Warriors,
because
that goes back to the conversation we were having earlier. That would be another weak move, and Giannis knows it. Look, by now the world has made an example out of KD. All right, the world has made an example out of Kevin Durant. Yeah. And now Kendrick Perkins came out with this thing. I think Giannis sees pretty clearly. Like, if I go out there, nobody's gonna respect this shit. Like, I think KD thought he could try it and it would smooth over. We're 3-4 years later. That shit hadn't smoothed over yet. Yeah. So Giannis sees that, but do y'all think so? Y'all think that's what Steph was? Y'all think Steph is
absolutely
probably recruitment
the fact
mode?
that he gave response about video games? I believe that the lip reading war.
Hey, what is?
But the thing is, even if he did say it, I feel like he was probably trolling, because at this point, no one, like, he can't. His career it's reputation suicide if you join Golden State at this point. Right. As a star of that caliber.
Speaking of reputation, I did see people getting on Steph about that recruiting thing. People are saying if Giannis joins him, taking Steph's legacy down even more. And because people are like right now, like he's not playing this season, and we really haven't seen him play since the last time he had Kevin Durant. And like then you come back and a year from now you'll have Giannis, and people saying that'll drag his legacy down because nobody really talks about that at that. But like I said, everyone's been bullying KD for the last few years. Nobody really talking
Curry.
about. Yeah, Steph got 2 rings.
Well, we mentioned Curry then because a Curry was there. You wouldn't his team.
Yeah, and that's why he got most of the hate.
Plus, Draymond was in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So now I feel like if Giannis did for some reason end up on the Golden State Warriors, and we'll look back in this and say, okay, Steph was definitely playing a role in recruiting him.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
8 rings. I don't count none of them rings.
Yeah, but I don't know. Steph to me don't seem like he gave a shit about any of that.
Not at all,
honestly, because he said he also sent the text to KD back when he was recruiting him, telling him I don't care how many shoes we sell or anything. Like, I just want to win championships. So
yeah,
I don't think he gives a fuck about any of the whole like how media views him at all. Like, that's just straight man of God. That's all he cares about.
He already got 2 MVPs without him. He good. He's like, man, I don't got my stuff.
Steph is the true definition. Only God can judge me. I don't think he give a fuck what none of us thinks.
He got on his sneakers somewhere.
Right. So yeah, that's the Giannis situation. The Warriors also did have one more situation. I sent it to the group, but this was just more of a trade rumor. But they were talking about a Ben Simmons trade to the Warriors, which is not
straight up.
No, like a Ben Simmons Russell trade.
Straight up.
Yeah, D'Angelo Russell trade.
Not necessarily straight up, but like those would be the 2 main pieces.
Apparently, I was looking for the tweet. They said it came from Marcus Thompson, who is the author of a book. He's like a Golden State Warriors guy. Like he's like a media guy for them. So apparently they were saying that came from him. First of all, that's not going to happen this season. Sixers not trading Ben Simmons this season. But I don't think, and again, I don't think it would make sense for the Sixers to give up on Ben like that, especially when he's got great defense right now.
He is great at everything but shooting.
And he's this young. And then for the Warriors, like, how would you run Ben Simmons and Draymond Green too? I feel like Ben Simmons would be playing Draymond Green's role.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if you were to replace them, then it would be like. Then it would make a little bit more sense, but
I can still see how it works, just given the shooting that Golden State possesses.
Right, it would work. Yeah, if you swap
because
that
their main
out,
issue had been with inside the line.
The Warriors trade Ben Simmons, start running the man at center basically at that point.
Oh, small ball me crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, that trade is probably not going to happen. And if I was the Sixers, I wouldn't be giving up on a young player like Ben this damn quickly. At least get bounced from the playoffs first this year and get mad about it, and then consider it. Damn. Oh, okay. So we got one more topic, and I don't know which one of you wrote this.
Most likely. I probably wrote it.
The era of traditional big men.
Well, yeah, I was watching the ESPN video about, of course, former big men talking about how the game has moved away from the paint and it's a low percentage shot.
Yeah, does this have anything to do with that guy on Twitter? He's an older player, and maybe his name is Eddie Griffin. I don't know. Talking because the whole thing about Rick Carlisle's comments about why he don't post up Kristaps Porzingis.
Because it's a low percentage shot, and plus I guess he's not good at it.
Yeah, because we did say he like
so Shaq, Barkley, Alonzo, couple big men start like
the funny thing is, it's like how the NBA directly it completely influences basketball like everywhere that it's played in the country. Because you remember a couple of years ago we were running pickup that day, all the YMCA or the LA Fitness people came out and it was straight threes everywhere. Yeah, and like me and Rod played now a lot, and I noticed like I'll get in the post and I'll have someone smaller on me. They don't even look at me down there.
Like there's been a couple plays because I usually play defense on Dom where I was like I'm gonna kind of like slack off Dom, see if he gonna pass it to him. Nope.
Yeah, straight like the like no eyes go in the post these
days.
LA
Fitness straight threes.
No, it's just threes.
Yeah, no, it's straight through. Like we played last night.
Some people don't even cut. Like don't cut, don't pass.
I had James Harden on my team last night. The inspiration was so clear. Every time this man came down the court, it was a straight three, bro. I'm telling you, like no pass, well Harden passes, but you get the point of the inspiration. But yeah, to your point, the guy I can't remember the guy's name on Twitter, but he is a former NBA player, and yeah, there has been a cry about traditional big men and traditional basketball going away as well.
But ain't Embiid a traditional big man?
No.
He can shoot a three, but he's still in a paint person.
He's tall like a big man, but he's more mobile though.
When we say tradition, I'm talking about like shooting like selections. Not
but we're just saying that it's not like it used to be. If you're 7 foot, you're more or less guaranteed.
You in the paint.
You're guaranteed. You're guaranteed. You're not only that, but you're guaranteed to be in the NBA. Like it used to be like 17% of 7 footers in the NBA, but it's not like that anymore because because of the pace, because of the threes, the pace has increased, and because of that, you can't just have these slow bodies out there, which is why Taco Fall and the other tall dude don't necessarily get the kind of minutes that they get.
So you say traditionally, it's more about the athleticism of the player?
I think we're talking about when a guy
it's the style of play, like
because Drummond is
the style of play. Yeah, more so like Drummond gives you the tons of rebounds and he scores a little bit too. But we're talking about straight post moves in the paint.
I thought it was the 3-point shot.
Like a traditional big man is gonna give you tons of post work back to the basket, and it's not really gonna not really stepping out. You know what I mean? Not going to the 3-point line. I mean that type of center, that died in the 2010s.
So what's Embiid?
Embiid, he's more along lines of the evolution that happened during the 2010s. A big man being able to also defend the perimeter a little bit as well, being able to step out on a switch or something like that. It's not just.
But he's best used out of the paint. They hate when they hate when in perimeter. That's why they come down on Ben Simmons all the time because he can't shoot.
No, I'm talking about like on defense. I'm talking about like on. Oh, you talking about on offense? I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the 3-ball. Like they must know how to play. It must.
Yeah, it's more than just back to basket and posting up. Like Embiid is a little bit more than that. Although he does, especially when he wants to, like he really dominates down there.
I mean, but small ball also is going into fact with traditional center.
Like to your point with Embiid, there was a Sixers game and somebody he took a 3 and one of the Sixers fan yelled like, "You're not a point guard or you're not a guard" or something like that. It was mad with like the shots he was taking because like he'll
take a number of threes.
Yeah, it's a bit of an evolution, just like how Jokic is go behind the back with the ball and pass it. He's got the court vision on him and things like that. Big men do more than just lumber around in the paint now. It's a big difference. And I guess that's
the number 1 draft pick right now is James Wiseman. He's a traditional big man.
Right.
So I don't like he's predicted to go number 1, but he's a back to the basket, no 3-ball type of player.
I mean, I guess it's not complete. That's pretty much like how DeAndre Ayton was like when he was drafted. He wasn't really shooting threes at all or anything, and they were saying because of his athleticism and the way he runs and stuff, he would be fine. And so, I mean, it's not completely dead.
So do you believe it's gonna be 7-footers in the future more like KP? Have no post game, just shooting threes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
definitely.
But you're 7 foot, fam. You can't teach that.
The thing is, my problem with the problem you're talking about, my problem comes with a player like Kristaps Porzingis when you have Marcus Smart in the paint and you don't even try to back down, right? Like that's where my problem comes in. Right. Because it's like, I get if you don't, if Rick Carlisle, first of all, the Mavs have probably, I think, like the best offense in our league right now or whatever. Right. So I get if you're saying, not in this system, post ups are dead. That's not, we don't find that efficient or whatever. I get that. But fam, you got 7-something Porzingis on a guard. Like he needs to back him down.
So is that considered a low percentage shot? Because you in the paint with a smaller guard, they still prefer you to shoot a 3?
Nah, hell no, I doubt that. I highly doubt that. That's a mismatch. That's a straight.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's how the Nuggets won the game the other night. Jokic had a little guy on him on the Mavericks, and nobody helped, and he just straight like bullied him under the rim. Like, nah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Take advantage of mismatches. Then
I think it's great to have a post game still, though, just in case you get those opportunities.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I get what you mean. Yeah, developing a little bit of a back to basket game, like even KD, I think back to the basket. He's got his moves, like to get to a jump shot and things like that. He's got his moves, so he's not giving you no dream shakes down there. But he work you a bit with the back to the basket. But yeah, the days of a center, it's just kind of like how a point guard, like you're not gonna really be.
You can't have a small point guard.
Not only that, but a point guard used to just be. Pure playmaker, pure facilitator, but now you need to be able to score.
I think they want big guards now. They don't want those 6'2". They want the 6'5" and up, like tall guards.
I mean, I still think that's a little bit special. Like Ben Simmons is still considered a big guard. Like you're not really normal. It's not normal to have Ben Simmons.
Honestly, because he's like 6'10".
I'm saying that you got Giannis was point
short.
guard at one point. You got LeBron playing point guard right now.
Yeah. That is
one more size on the wing, I guess.
Right. But yeah, to answer your question, like coming up, of course, I mean that's just part of the evolution of the game.
I just don't want to see 7-footers on the post.
That don't know how to post at all.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with you. Post absolutely should not die. I agree with you on that. Like, if you're a 7-foot player, you got some kind of game down there as well. But the reality is, I think coming up, because now we're going to see like a generation of kids that were inspired by like Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And if you're a tall guy like him, like I know one kid that comes to mind is like Imani Bates. I don't know if y'all ever heard of him or not, but he'll be drafted like years and years from now. But the guy like that is probably going to be a tall like 3 and probably going to want to play more like KD. It's not really going to want to. Because it's prettier basketball too. Let's be real, that shit is fun. That shit is more fun.
It's prettier.
Everybody want to be able to ISO now.
But I like when Embiid do his footwork and it's tear up somebody in the paint.
Absolutely. And Embiid is also huge too. Like
he's a huge man.
Yeah, like you can't. Embiid is not really built for like the KD type.
Yeah, I think he'll tear his own knees up trying to do all that.
Yeah, he's very big. So. But yeah, you said that with Shaq and Charles and them talking about that.
Of course, you know.
Yeah,
they hate to see big men on the post. I think they're going in on KP. So
yeah, facts. Yeah, because KP will not back down a smaller guard a lot of the times. Like
it's crazy.
That's ridiculous. Very last thing, Dwight Howard actually did shoot down our notion that he was going to be in the dunk contest. Kinda, he said
I don't believe that.
Yeah, you don't believe it? Because I see multiple people say, why don't y'all believe that? I see multiple people.
Dwight, man.
Yeah. Because some people were saying like, oh, he said he wasn't gonna be in. He never said Superman wasn't gonna be there. So
yeah,
like,
see, I got time for that. I don't got time for those games.
Yeah, because that report came from Shams. Like Shams Shams don't.
I'd rather him be. I'd rather Vince be in. He out, but
you would rather Vince be in the dunk contest this year?
Yeah, last year, man. Yeah. Plus he got Vert still.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
I want to bring on the ran on Cape out in the phone booth.
Oh wait, there I disagree with you. I'd like to see I want to see the White.
Not 34. I don't want to see no 34.
You want to see the 100th version of a under the legs dunk from some no name guard this year? Is that what you want?
Derrick Jones?
I mean, we had Derrick Jones in the dunk contest before.
I'm saying you got John Morant, and Levine.
I'd like to see Ja.
And Levine might do it. Come on.
Oh, did Levine say he might?
I'm always advocate for a healthy AG to be in there.
Yeah, let me get this.
Aaron Gordon.
Oh, Aaron Gordon. Okay.
I want Flyers, man.
Okay, if you give me Ja Morant, Zach, Aaron Gordon, and it's only 4 people that can. Yeah, and one more person. Then okay, yeah, Dwight sit this one out.
Yeah, please. I don't.
But if they're not going to, and we're gonna get some dude that we barely seen on on the middle of somebody of some non.
I don't want Dwight getting hung on the rim. All right?
He's not gonna get hung. He still just like Vince. He still has his out of game.
Better on a 6'6" body than a 6'11" body.
Yeah, I mean, it's a condition for me. If Dwight is gonna come in and replace some bench guy that's just gonna come in and try to jump over somebody or under the legs again. Like
the drum was horrible.
The what?
Drumming.
Yeah,
that was pretty trash.
That shit was garbage. Yeah, that shit was super. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to see them where like they dunk and like nobody in the crowd, like you don't hear nothing in the crowd at all. I don't want to see no shit like that.
Alley hoop dunks, like come on, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, I get your point though. Yeah, but that's a dream though. Morant. Yeah, your boy. I don't know who would be the 4th we would want in that one.
I saw it was Levine, John Morant. Derrick Jones from Miami.
Oh, okay.
And Dwight.
Yeah, take Dwight out for Aaron Gordon
because it gonna look crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, I still think Dwight can make it fun though.
He gonna be entertaining. I think I just believe he's not gonna make no dunks.
He
gonna have those.
Dwight ain't an old man.
He gonna have no Dennis Smith attempts.
No, he's not. Bro. he still got the outer game.
I saw the shot he took where he jumped from the rim, his head still hit the rim.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. So like Dwight still got it. Like in the game, he not like putting people in the basket really no more, but like, he can still do something crazy in a dunk contest. But it's a creativity too, you know.
Yeah, but I guess I don't see him doing like no 360 on the leg.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've seen so many of those. So that's what I'm saying.
You got the
but at this point, like almost everything's been done.
Yeah, that's my fear of having like a Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon again. Is like I don't want to kill that memory. Right. Yeah, you don't want to tarnish that if they can't come in and do nothing better. Because Aaron Gordon was in it the year after that and didn't really do much.
He was hurt because he was hurt.
He was hurt that year, and he still participated.
Yeah, like he had just came back from injury.
He don't got no fame. He gotta do something though.
He wasn't 100% when he did that.
Some drone I saw. Drone dunk.
Okay, very last topic. I promise. I keep finding shit on this list. I even saw you comment on it on Twitter when they were saying Dwayne Wade or Kawhi Leonard by career's end. I saw you comment on that as well, so I figured you would probably want to chime in on that.
People was getting tight because they were saying Kawhi only was good since 2015, but I was focused on when all said and done part. At the end of Kawhi Leonard's career.
Because if Kawhi keep win championships on these rentals, I mean. It's kind of hard.
I don't think that's gonna happen, honestly.
Well, I'm saying, this is hypothetically, I know it's not gonna happen, but if the Clippers win one, his resume.
Oh, you said that's not gonna happen. Like that's just hard.
I can't fathom. I can't. Anyways, but I'm saying, like, come on, another championship MVP.
I mean, I'm sitting there looking at this going because the big thing with Kawhi people always go to is like the offense and defense, but Wade had that too. Wade was an elite offender, offense and defender as well. So
and he's one of the best shot blocking.
And they both don't have
guards.
They both don't have MVPs. They both don't. So
yeah, and they both don't have MVPs. But the thing that they'll have over it is Wade wasn't really load managing until like that was never really a thing with him. Like towards the end, he would miss games in Miami and stuff like that because of the knee. But yeah, he got a lot of regular season juice too that Kawhi's probably not gonna have as well. Like, so
Yeah.
I'm like, let's slow down for a minute because Wade
Wow,
was
I was focused on when it's all said and done. I wasn't focused on it now.
yeah, obviously.
But
yeah.
I didn't rate because I didn't know where I want to go at. But I'm saying when it's all said and done, I don't know how long that will be. I don't know what Kawhi will accomplish.
Wade got one Finals MVP, three or four rings. He won two with so 3 rings, and so Kawhi has already got 2 rings, and so and
Kawhi's
2
2-2, and Wade is 3-1.
Right.
MVPs finally.
And we're coming for Wade.
He got
already.
2 defensive titles. I don't know.
Yeah, as far as the accolade category, only thing he might not have.
You just gotta revisit it years later.
That was a fun question though. I liked that.
It was the split was like close.
Yeah, very close, very extreme. That's why I retweeted it. I want to see if I could break it. All right, so yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Just ending by looking at the conference standings. Things are tightening up.
You on NBA.com?
Yeah, damn.
Okay,
Thank
just
you.
making sure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
No, I'm on Basketball Reference.
Yeah, you gotta stay off that.
Okay, yeah, I gotta chill with that because that shit led me astray that one time. Oh, by the way, LeBron did take the lead, like we said, in All-Star voting.
Yeah,
Past, we knew that was gonna happen. I didn't think that vote count was gonna hold. So looking at the Eastern Conference, still, Bucks are gonna be the first seed this year. Who knows? Yeah, they're far ahead, 5 games above Miami, second seed. Boston struggling a little bit right now, but we're still third. Toronto is gonna get Siakam back. I think they said they're soon actually. So yeah, they're still 4th. Philly is 5th. They're having a hard time. Indiana 6th. Magic are 7th. Yeah.
Oh, your boy Fultz.
Yeah, full game above the Nets.
Dropped 25 on him.
Apparently, damn, the Nets are in a 7-game slide. That I didn't realize at all.
I heard they lost 7 straight or something.
Magic actually been playing better since
Oh my God.
Isaac got hurt, surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah, they actually kind of rallied a little bit.
Oh, okay. I like that. How you lose 7 games straight and still like hold on to the AC? That's crazy. The Nets.
That's
lost.
the East for you.
Yeah, they are still 3 games above Charlotte. Like that, the East bracket is probably already done. Like I think we probably called
that's
it.
the teams.
Yeah,
Those teams.
It can switch, but I think we can go ahead and call it here. I think this is probably the 8. Then out west, the Lakers are trying to solidify themselves as first, and they're 4 games above the Nuggets, who are steady and consistent. The Clippers are 3rd right now. That keeps fluctuating. The Rockets are 4th. The Jazz are actually 5th, and the Jazz are 2 games above Dallas. The Jazz have been actually playing pretty well lately.
Conley must still be out, huh?
Yeah, I saw a thing where people were saying that the Jazz, we don't believe the hype. They hadn't really played anybody. That's just what's out there. On
trade
them.
of remorse.
Say what? Trade remorse?
They want to trade back.
But, yeah, the Utah Jazz, they've won 7 straight games. That's the thing, and
Crazy.
that was a dark horse team we were looking at the beginning of the year. So, hey man, yeah, that's a non Jazz relief over there. I mean, at this point, yeah, the Mavericks are 6th. OKC is 7th, and San Antonio is 8th. So
Who's 9th?
It's Memphis, and they are literally only a game above the 12th seeded Kings. So, damn, the Suns fell all the way out.
Yeah, they all.
No, they did. My bad. They're 16. Okay. Yeah, it's still more or less kind of okay. So your 18th. No. My bad. They're 16. So I'm looking at the games behind. That's how we're measuring. So they're still only 2.5 games out of the A seed.
So it's still a battle down there.
Yeah, from 8 to 13 is still pretty much.
But but they've cooled off completely compared to their hot start.
Oh yeah, they are 13th in the West, and the Pelicans are still there
what
too.
About the Timberwolves?
The Timberwolves sit 11th, and they are only a game and a half outside of 8. So that's gonna come down to like the wire probably at this point. Which I hope it does. That'd be fascinating. Yeah, I think I would be cool with that though. I want the Spurs in the playoffs, and I want to see Carmelo in there too. But I also want to see OKC in the playoffs as well. So
yeah, I'm good on Spurs.
You said you're good on Spurs.
Yeah, I'm good.
You don't want them. You don't want to see them.
20 years, y'all straight.
Yeah, they holding on to that for dear life. But I don't really care to see other teams. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. So those are the standings. Those are the topics we have for the week. Rod and E, y'all can say y'all bid, and we can bounce.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
Yeah, I see y'all, man.
And Rod has Twitter, by the way, now. But I don't know. Maybe we put that in the comment section and description this time. Only, what is it? Me and you are the following.
He got a weird, strange username.
Yeah.
It's FBI or something.
FBI guy.
Yeah, like crazy. But I feel you.
Yeah. What's behind that, Rod?
I didn't feel like using my usual, so I just made someone up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's the man. Yeah, so we'll probably put him in there as well. And this podcast is also on Spotify and iTunes if you find it easier to digest there. And the links will be in the comment section and description. So we'll see y'all next Saturday.